Hi YouTube, this is Imperial Fist, and I'm going to show you now how to do mud, how I'm making my mud for my board. So, very quickly, so you just get some mud, so make sure you get some from a molehill or something, because that's all fine. Grab some and chuck it in. I'm going to be mixing quite a bit today, so I'm just going to be, don't worry about all the big bits. I'm just going to be quite liberal with what I'm going to be using today, because I'm filling in quite a lot of stuff. You know, you can't really waste dirt, can you? So there you go. We can always fill it up later. So I've got it. So now I'm going to make a well, quite a large one in this case. I'm going to chuck a bit more. There you go. So you've got your mud, dirt, grit, whatever. So you're just gonna grab some glue now. You wouldn't usually do it this way, but I'm just trying to finish off this this glue pot. So I'm just gonna pour some water in. So this produces great effects. I can't really advise on what sort of mixture you should use, and this is going to come out really foamy. I can't really advise of the mixture you should use, or the the ratios. You just need to chuck in a bit and see what it looks like. I think it's good fun to use. And I have fun using it because I know it's cheap. There we go. So I just finished this glue pot. So you can use this on your boards. I'm going to be using this on my next board, which is to your left, which is going to be interesting because I've got Fortress of Redemption. I was going to use it on this board and have it just around here, but it's just too big. And I didn't want areas for the troops to move around, and for these sort of boards they're going to be like a campaign sort of theme, and somebody else can play that one. When the Stompers were released, that White Dwarf, a fantastic campaign, and I like the idea of it, so it's going to be something like that. So I've just finished off using that one, so we'll go in the bin, and ooh, I've seen one of these before. So I usually get the Sainsbury's one because it's super cheap. Ooh, slap a bit in there. So I'm going to add a bit. That was a bit too much, so I'm just going to add some dirt because I know I'm going to finish it all off. Yes, it's literally like mixing cement here. Well, no, it's not, because cement, you know how much you're going to use. Just going to take that out for a second. Sorry, I'm quite unprepared, guys. This is quite unprofessional of me. Not a good Blue Peter presenter. I'm going to make another small well and pour some water in. Okay, so hopefully you can all see this. So now I'm just going to be mixing it up. Just need to keep on adding water, whatever, just to make sure you get the right effect, right look. It comes with practice. There'll be some people out there who use this already. They will know exactly quantity of what it looks like, but I can't advise, because depending on your type of soil, if it's chalky, chalk based, or I don't know, limes. No, it won't be lime. Well, there's different soil types, so I can't really advise on how much because I wouldn't want to ruin your board. So this is just what I use. I'm just making you aware of it. And we live around Winchester area, which is, I think, quite chalky. This could be a nice method for you. Well, you can use it anywhere, but I'd advise go more PVA for better, because then you've got a mixture which is not going to break off. You've got more bonding. Ooh, try and save that before I get in. So I'm just going to add a bit more PVA. That's really thick. This stuff's usually quite thin. There we go. Oh, I've got some more left there for another day. Nice. Let's get a final bit of mixing. God, I knocked you over. Sorry about that, guys. That's awful. You knocked it off. Sorry, it's on a Cities of Death run, so you nearly died there. Sorry, I filmed this video already once, and I used up my mud, so I don't really want to film it again. So sorry if the cam falls over or something. Right, I'm just going to tilt that over that way, and I'm just going to remove my ingredients because we're actually going to be working some of this area. Now the object for today is I've just shown you how I sort of produce the mud consistency. To make sure you use pots and pans which your mum, girlfriend, wife doesn't mind. I'm just going to move you around now, and so I've shown you how to make it. Applying, just very simple, very liberal. I've done some already to my bridge. I'm going to just be working on that now. I'm just going to carry on talking. You may be asking, a few of you may be asking, why are you putting mud on the bridge? Well, these are tanks with big tracks, so they're going to create quite a bit of mess. So this is quite liberal, just chuck it on. It hardens, and so it will look fine and it won't be chipping off. I'm just adding it down to the side just to cover up cracks, because this does crack slightly. Just slightly, but just add another mixture on top and hope for the best, really. It gets quite cracked on tank traps, but that looks a bit like dried mud, so it's cool. So yeah, you can use it. I use this same method on my tank, so it's a perfect it's a perfect way just to mucky up your tank so they look realistic. If you're going for a realistic army, I know some people like parade ground style army, which is conveniently just before battle, and all of its battles that you play them with, it has just had its armour cleaned. So some people like that. I don't. I used to, and then I just thought, I saw somebody mucky up their army, and I just thought, I need to do that. It looks far more realistic. So here I'm just covering up cracked holes. There we go. Just covering so it looks totally genuine. And overall, I'm very happy with this board. So I haven't touched it really since this sort of series of videos, battle board videos. I hadn't touched it in a couple of months. Must have been months, and I've just got tired of it sitting around not finished. And sorry, you're shaking it about a bit, guys, because I've been quite liberal on the board. I just got tired of it being here, and I really want to start playing some games on it. So I'm just going full out here to get this board done before the summer. There's a lot of work involved. You see people like Terrain Builder, Marnius Augustus Calgar, Templars Crusade 01 building their boards, and they put a lot of time into it, and it is a time consuming activity. I'm just going to bring you over his now, hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to check. Yeah, I'm just going to be mucking up this trench a bit. So all the sandbags have gone in, and we've already got the planks on there, but honestly it looks too clean for me, so you just want to muck it up. cover up bits and pieces around the side, just to show that the trench is old. The theme I'm going for here is, I think it's Rinswell, or I can never say it. These strange Games Workshop names. Yeah, and that they've hastily built their defences. They've suffered heavy bombardment from orcs, so it's going to be pretty battered, muddy, horrible conditions. In the book, we have lots of executions and deserters which are caught and executed, so I expect they'll probably have to fight in horrible conditions such as these. And you know what? A clean battlefield, sure, if you're in a city it may look okay, but you want a bit messed up. The Imperium is backward in its technology, so yeah, it used to have all these plasma weapons, and then it lost the technology during the Great Crusade and all that sort of, and Horus Heresy. So they effectively, the Imperial Guard at least, revert to old methods which we're probably doing now. So once it went from plasmid technology, it's now coming back to basic technology. Well, it says in the books, but you know, Games Workshop want to bring out something looking high-tech, Wizzo sort of thing, just to sell some more stuff. So I'm just chatting as I'm doing this. You know, be more interesting bits which come up in a second. But yeah, please comment what's your favourite tower model. So if the Games Workshop have just brought out the tower models, what do you think of them? I think they look flipping awesome. I would have liked to see a vehicle in there. I mean, we've just got walkers and battle suits. I would have liked to see a vehicle in that spread. And you know what? They probably bring one out. So we've got flyer, we've got battle suits. I thought they'd bring out something Cruty, but no, or Vespid. So that may be an update in future. So, you know, they sort of do these sort of updates. Then a year later, usually in summer time, they bring out a pack or two of people, so of new models. So we may see some more Tau Vespid in the future. I think that's basically if I can put this now so it doesn't get covered. I'll show you here. Here. So yeah, what do we think of the new Tau models? I think they look pretty. The Riptide. I went to my Games Workshop the other day, which is a rare occasion. I only really go there on Sundays when I'm in Winchester, and it was pretty full. No, it wasn't. That was sarcastic. It was two or three people in there, but two of them have the Riptides, and they are absolutely massive. Can't see them. They look a bit. The Games Workshop magazine makes them look a bit big, bit too big, but they are big still. They are. I would say there wasn't one next to it, but you know, people probably know the Grey Knight, big, hefty Nemesis Grey Knight, tanky thing, whatever it, walker thing. Yeah, it is probably a bit bigger than that. Not that I had one up there to sort of compare, but it was about that size, a bit bigger than that. So I may say it takes ages to build. Now some people go, oh, I just want to get it built and play with it and not paint it. Well, for me, I would love a long build. Sorry, there's not the camera there. I really like long builds because effectively I'm getting what I paid for. I paid for a model, so I want a model which could take me a long time. And much as I sort of swear as I'm building tricky models, it's what I'm paying for. And in the end, I go, wow, that's really a real big achievement. Like 4-year-old ones, they take you a while to build, but when you're finished, you feel really proud that you've done it. So what I'm doing here, just mucking up the trenches. So in bits like that in the middle, we're going to put water effects. Well, I'm going to put water effects, except if you want to give me a hand. And water effects show sort of, I've got some source material, World War I and a few World War II trenches. They became pretty redundant due to armour. I'm using it as sort of source material. And they're pretty mucky and they get wet because they just pick like places in France and Belgium. They get pretty wet. So a bit too much there, I think. Try and scrape a bit off there. A bit of a chunky load there, Trenton. So they're really, really mucky. So sort of, if you're doing a trench system, I would suggest really mucking it up, because it looks great. Even now, I think it looks pretty great with all the muck. So if the idea is that it's just been shelled, or they've had to live in these for years in the siege of New Ryan City, so they're going to be pretty used, pretty blown apart, pretty destroyed. Right, I'm going to leave these for a second, and then I'm going to go on to something. Let's find something to stick in. Right. Sorry, this has gone on for a bit longer. I've been talking a bit. How long is it? 16 minutes. Cool. Right. So we've got a heavy bolter here from Predator set, and I think I'm just going to put it, show it in there, and dig it in a bit. So just take that out for a sec, and I'm just going to, really liberal, just plop down a big lump of it there, and then splat noise in there. Where am I going to put this? Just, I think that's fair. I'm just going to push it all in. Now make sure I hide that bit, because that's where the sponsor bit goes. Push it all in there, hide it a bit, and really make it look a bit mucky, like it's just been blown off or been blown off a tank quite a while ago. And then with bits like this, you just cover them. That's a bit of a towel battle suit. Don't know how I got that. Must have been off a friend, because I've never got any towel. But I'd love to now that new models come out. Right, so the whole idea, cover imperfections. There we go. Probably easiest to see on this trench because it's quite wide and open. This is one of the smarter. This is my last trench because I got all of the panelling quite uniform. So they're not all supposed to be blown apart. There we go. And rather coincidentally, the spray that I got for this board happens to be dirt-like, so it's even bigger bonus. And also on a final note, I have bought some poster paint thing just to do the sides, because at the moment, because I had to cut them to size for sort of the board, it's all sort of cream, which doesn't look very Warhammery, so I bought some poster paint just to fill it in. Well, let's just chuck a bit in there. I think that'll look all dirty. There we go. So I'm going to carry on a bit because I've got a bit more work to do on this. Need to chuck a few more bits in to the board, and I have got to do all of that. A lot of work, but it looks fantastic in the end. So I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Sorry this video's gone on for so long, but yeah, I need to do a few shorter ones. So I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Stay safe and look forward to a bit more board stuff in the future. Bye, guys.